Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Matthew back with another episode of Watty's channel. This is actually going to be a redo of episode number 36, if I'm not mistaken. So essentially, my last video was one I was actually really looking forward to doing. That was the my favorite Galoob figure line. Unfortunately, the video ended up being like 44 minutes long, and during upload, about a minute and a half, 2 minutes in, the picture froze up. You could still hear me talking, but obviously, overall, the video was just pure junk. I had to go ahead and delete it, which was an absolute shame. I mean, like I said, a 44-minute video, I put a lot of time and effort into doing that video, and it meant a lot to me. And just, to me, as I said, guys, this right here, this doesn't work for me. I mean, this is just sheer enjoyment, but still, I mean, you definitely want, the amount of work that you put into, creating something like this to matter. So at 44 minutes, I didn't really realize it was going to take that long. To be honest, I figured, to hover around 25, 30 minutes. So because I'm estimating it'll probably take just as long this go around, I am going to break this down into two videos. So again, this video is going to be about my favorite Galoob figures. And so based on this list that I wrote down, I have 31 figures here. Now, out of the 31, I do have 6 figures that I do not own. So, but I mean, at 25 out of 31, I still consider, to be a nearly complete line. One of the figures, a red shorts, Arn Anderson from the UK. Technically, I do actually own that one. I didn't realize what I had when I had it. I thought it was just another duplicate, so I actually boxed it up and have that listed under eBay for sale. And but I mean, I have gone ahead and actually repurchased a new one, so I'll have one for sale, and I'll still have a new one coming in for my personal collection. So in this video, I'm gonna name off my least favorite characters, starting first, working all the way up to my favorite. And normally, well, actually not normally, you will repeatedly see either US version followed by UK version or vice versa. So that's how it's going to be broken down in this video. Least favorite to most favorite Galoob figures. So the first figure to talk about is going to be the US version of Ron Simmons. Now, Galoob actually means a lot to me. Now, as Galoob and Hasbro, those were the two toy lines that we did have as kids. I was too young to actually have LJN or anything like that, but so these are two figure lines that we did grow up utilizing. Now, Hasbro, anytime you go to like a Toys R Us, that's where you found the Hasbro action figures. Galoob's, you normally find these in like the dollar store. So that just goes to show you how much the WCW Galoob figures meant in comparison to the WWF's Hasbro figures. But still, we had a good chunk of these growing up, and Ron Simmons was definitely one of them. This is an absolute piece of crap. I hate this figure with every fiber of my soul. I don't know anything about Ron Simmons, the wrestler. All I knew about was the action figure itself. And again, up until I became an adult collector, I didn't know who any of these guys were. I mean, there were probably a few, guys like Brian Pillman, Lex Luger, Sting, obviously, Ric Flair. I mean, some of those guys, yeah, you're very well aware of who they were. But, Butch Reed and Ron Simmons and Arn Anderson, just a bunch of guys, obviously, that were probably before my time. And, of course, I mentioned before, I never really watched WCW growing up. It was always WWF primarily. So with this particular figure, all Ron Simmons can really do is, drop an elbow. 100 million other action figures can do the exact same thing, so he doesn't really stand out. Now, this whole arm fuse to the chest, again, makes him arguably the worst action figure of all time. Now, only the LJN Rick Rude with the hands on his waist, makes it a worse figure than this one. But other than that, I mean, Rick Rude, LJN, and the Ron Simmons Galoob are two of the worst figures imaginable. Horrible figure. Absolutely hate it. And if one day if I do decide to start buying all of these figures on card, I've seen this figure for $150+, and it's going to absolutely kill me if I have to shell out that type of money for something that I really don't care about per se. Aesthetically, as far as the face goes and everything, had the potential to be a really fantastic piece. And this one actually looks like he's in really good shape, as a matter of fact. But this fighting pose is just so bad. You really can't do anything. It drove me nuts as a kid to have to play with this. So Ron Simmons' U.S. version comes in as my least favorite Galoob figure at number 31. Number 30, obviously, is the Ron Simmons UK version. I don't own that one, and it's just basically the exact same figure with a white stripe down his leg pant or his pant leg. So not much of a difference there. Will I acquire it one day? I'm sure I will, but right now that figure, if I probably were to go on eBay right now, probably be north of $100. And no, I'm sorry, but I won't do it. Not at least not right now. So the UK version comes in number 30. My 29th least favorite Galoob figure is Lex Luger, and this is such again, another one of those figures I had as a kid. Absolutely hated this figure with every fiber of my soul. Almost as bad as Ron Simmons. Now, when you actually think about it, the King Kong Bundy LJN figure with the exact same pose is one of my favorite LJNs of all time. And Lex Luger having the exact same pose, you would think, okay, it works the same way. I don't know why every time I make a video, my AOL message goes off. I guess from now on, I just got to start deleting that or turning or exiting out. Anyways, Lex Luger, number 29 on the list. Yeah, he can get you into a little headlock, do a little DDT or something. But, I mean, make believe. You got to pretend to throw a punch. You got to sit there. You got to pretend to do a body slam. Yeah, you can use your imagination. But at the same time, just a horrible, horrible pose. One of my best memories of Lex Luger, I want to say 93, maybe 94. I think they were on a ship or something, and he comes in on a helicopter. It was during the Yokozuna, body slam challenge. And just watching him throw a punch kind of dazed Yokozuna, pick him up, slam him like it was nothing. 550, 600-pound man just being slammed like it was nothing. I mean, obviously knowing as an adult that, Yokozuna obviously did have to jump up a little bit so, Luger can slam him. But amazing, fantastic wrestler. Loved him as a wrestler myself, but absolutely hated his figure. So number 28, again, is the UK exclusive from Series 2. Now, I do think that the green and yellow does pop a little bit more than the blue. So I do put a lot of the UKs ahead of the US version for the most part. Again, not going to talk about it too much. Didn't have it as a kid. Same exact description as the first one. Come in number 27. For the longest time, I didn't mind this one. This is the Scott Steiner figure from the US version. Another one of those figures I did have as a kid. And, it's not the worst pose of any of the Galoobs. And, when I first started this process, I thought he was actually going to rate much higher. Maybe top 10, top 15 type of... I think top 15 would be too high up. Maybe top 10. But as I was, acquiring more and more figures, and I like the fighting poses a whole lot better. Aesthetically, they're just a whole lot pleasing. And this is just... as I really paid attention to the fighting pose of this figure, it really is not good at all. As at the worst, again, you got Ron Simmons in this line, so I mean that speaks volumes about how bad of a pose that's got to be worse than Ron Simmons. So far we're 3 figures in. Call them 6 if you want. When you throw in the duplicates from the UK. So the Series 1 Galoob figures came out in 1990. In 91, they came out with Series 2 UK exclusives. And they're just, basically most of them are just repaints. But I do thoroughly enjoy the repaints more than the originals. Number 26 from Series 2 is the repaint of Scott Steiner. Again, I just like his singlet a little bit better than the US version. And I don't know, I really like this one. Not quite US colors for the most part. I mean, it's close enough. It's more of pink than red. but I like it. It looks nice. Number 25 is one I don't have. It's going to be a tag team. So it was a UK exclusive tag team with Sting and Lex Luger. Number 25 is the Sting entrance gear with, black outfit. I don't have that one. If you need to, you guys could look it up. Pretty nice figure. I did actually place an order for that one recently. And as I've mentioned before, a lot of times when you order from the UK, you're paying more for shipping than you are for the product itself. A lot of these Galoob, they're so collectible that they're even, in a country like the UK where they originated from, they're still, hefty in price. So you're paying maybe $20, $30, $40 for a lot of these UK exclusives, but you're paying another $60, $65, $70 to ship it out. And, let's say I get a UK version of Ron Simmons with the white stripe. Let's say I get him for cheap, $10. And you're paying $65 in shipping, so $75 is a whole lot cheaper than $110 or so that you're going to pay for a US version here, and you're still paying on shipping. But I just don't see how financially how it makes sense to spend more on shipping than the product itself. That always would drive me crazy. So ring attire, Sting at number 25. At number 24 is going to be the first US version of Sting. Now, Sting blue trunks or blue tights, blue pants, however you want to dress them. I like the scorpion on the side here. Beautiful design. And face paint wise, absolutely gorgeous. Fantastic figure. I don't know if I actually had this as a kid. I might have, but I don't know. It doesn't really look too familiar as far as childhood. So this is probably the most well-known Sting. You go on any eBay, look up anybody's auction that's selling Galoob figures. They're gonna probably have a Sting on their listing. Great figure. He does come in at number 23. Nope, number 24. At number 23 as the other U.S. Series 1. And this one is going to be an orange tights Sting. So face paint on this one obviously a little bit different. So it looks like they just kind of mimicked the face paint and pants. So essentially blue paint where he has blue pants, orange pants where he has orange face paint. Of course, the face paint is more pink than orange, but I think that's what they were going for. I mean, everything else is relatively the same. White wristbands with black boots. Good figure. And again, first taking these off the shelf, you would think that, Sting would probably come in the top 10 somewhere. But on this list, the Sting figures hover between 25 and 22. So tag team Sting, number 25, blue Sting at 24, orange Sting at 23, and 22 is the UK exclusive black Sting. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe they have relatively the same eye paint or face paint. Not exactly identical, but I mean it's close enough. And it may be because this one has a little bit more paint loss on them, which is why it appears that the face paint might be different. And even the scorpion on the pants, I think I prefer the scorpion colored on the black pants Sting. So overall, the black pants Sting, my favorite among the three different versions of this. Of course, black entrance gear Sting I don't have, but he wouldn't rate very high on my list anyways. Coming in at number 21. Another great surprise. I had this as a kid. For the longest time, if I had to, choose my favorite figures, guys like Ric Flair and Rick Steiner, they'd probably come in somewhere around 2 or 3 or maybe Steiner would come in at 2, maybe Flair at 3, what have you. So they were, as far as, fighting pose, they always had, the better poses to me. Which just goes to show you that Galoob didn't exactly have the best fighting poses for any of their figures for the most part. But on this list, the U.S. Rick Steiner does come in at number 21. And the reason I put UK Rick Steiner at number 20, very simple. I just like his colors a whole lot better. kind of like the Riddler type of look, lime green. Really pops for the figure. Just above the, I don't know if it's blue or purple singlet that he wears for the U.S. version. So the Steiners, Rick Steiner, UK or US comes in number 21, UK at number 20. All right, so number 19. So this one is kind of mixed. So generally, like I said, I might have US version come in first and then UK come in next. This one I actually have kind of separated. I have them kind of like in between each other, which is very odd. So as I said, I did have the Arn Anderson UK version, but me not really paying attention, I guess. I put up for auction, or well, none of my listings really auction style, but I put up for sale thinking, it was just another duplicate, and it turns out it actually was a UK version. And since then I've gone ahead and ordered a new Arn Anderson UK exclusive, but since I don't have him, the red shorts physically in my possession right now, I'm gonna put at number 19 Arn Anderson Series 1, and this one is the Arn Anderson with full head of hair. And when you actually look at this variant, there actually is like a little circular outline here, so where there could be a bald spot. So I thought that was pretty cool. So US version Arn Anderson, no bald spot, comes in at number 19. Again, I don't have it physically in my possession, but number 18 would be Arn Anderson from the UK exclusive, where he just has pure red trunks all around. And number 17. Number 17 is the other variant of the US release. And number 17 is going to be the Arn Anderson with bald spot. I don't know why the bald spot, makes that much of a difference, but I just think it looks really super cool. And on the trunks, AA for Arn Anderson, really nice. This is just a great figure, and again, he doesn't have the worst fighting pose. Again, when you compare him, Ric Flair, Rick Steiner, Arn Anderson's right up there with one of the best poses, fighting poses wise. Never had Arn Anderson as a kid. Never knew about who Arn Anderson was or anything like that. That came a lot later on in life. So Arn Anderson comes in at number 17 with bald spot. So I'm gonna let this be the last one for this round, just so that I don't take up too much of your time with another 40+ minute video. So number 16 is one I do not have. It is a Brian Pillman UK with blue trunks. So I've seen one seller have that on his account thus far, but it's even on auction he's listing it for $150. I think the Brian Pillman figure is amazing, but am I really willing to shell out $150 for a UK exclusive when I already have the figure essentially? So Brian Pillman UK with blue tights comes in at number 16. At number 15, I did put this a little bit different this time around. The US version I do like better than the UK, and this is the tiger print. I just call it Bengal trunks. Brian Pillman. This is another one I had it as a kid, and generally I don't like the hands up too much. Kind of like them, Randy Savage or One Man Gang from LJN. Sting and Brian Pillman with the hands up like this. They're not terrible poses. They're still, playable. When you're a kid, I'm sure I got a lot of use out of the figure. But, even though I think sometimes I prefer the hands closed, the fisted figure, but this one did come in a little bit more enjoyable, I guess, play-wise. And, of course, I didn't have the Sting as a kid, but I did have Brian Pillman, so that makes a lot of sense, too. I don't know. I just like the flow of his hair, and the Bengal shorts are nice. Good fighting pose, not great. Again, if we were just talking about just the U.S. versions that I had as a kid, he probably would have come in somewhere around number 5 or 6. Great figure. I like him a lot. That Brian Pillman Bengal tiger print comes in number 15, and that is where I am going to end this video. Just over 20 minutes, and I will come back in a few seconds, make a second video for the last 14 figures, and have my winner announced. Alright guys, thank you for watching, and I will be back shortly.